Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here, so remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Daphne Zuniga, a name etched into the annals of television and film royalty, has stunned the world yet again, but not with a new show or red carpet appearance. This time, she has captivated audiences with a powerful, fearless display of confidence, class, and sensuality that no one saw coming. At 62, the icon, best known for her unforgettable roles in Melrose Place and Spaceballs, has boldly reminded the world that beauty, strength, and allure do not fade with time. They evolve. And now, with one breathtaking photo shoot, Daphne has shattered all expectations, reclaiming her narrative and redefining what it means to show it all in the modern era of Hollywood. The pictures, raw, empowering, and intimate, aren't just portraits of a woman. They are proof of a lifetime of wisdom wrapped in glamour and grace. The internet has erupted, fans can't stop sharing, and critics have been left speechless by the elegance of this visual manifesto. But behind every angle and every frame lies a deeper story, one that stretches from her days as a young breakout star to her status today as a woman in full command of her image. It's not just about what she wore or didn't wear. It's about what she communicated without saying a single word. The lighting, the expression, the styling, all a symphony of self-possession, legacy, and womanhood. In these photos, Daphne Zuniga is not just seen, she is understood. Social media platforms are ablaze with admiration, with fans praising not just her appearance, but the boldness and artistry behind her decision to step into this spotlight again in a way that feels both nostalgic and revolutionary. Hollywood insiders are calling it one of the most powerful celebrity image drops of the year. Fashion editors are dissecting every detail, from the retro-inspired silhouettes to the soft glam makeup, saying she's managed to merge old-school Hollywood glamour with modern minimalism effortlessly. And let's talk about the reaction from fellow celebrities, women who have long looked up to her and younger stars who now see her as the embodiment of timeless class. But it wasn't always this way. Daphne's journey through the brutal lens of the entertainment industry was riddled with the usual battles of being typecast, underestimated, and often invisible once she stepped out of her 30s. Yet through all the whispers, rejections, and dry spells, she never compromised who she was. She took the hard road, opting for roles that resonated with integrity over sensationalism, and now, in this iconic photo shoot, it all culminates in a moment of victorious visibility. The photos show more than skin. They show survival, dignity, and the courage to own the narrative. Her posture alone radiates power. Her smile tells of self-acceptance. And her eyes? They scream, "I know who I am." And that's what resonates. For women around the globe, Daphne has become a symbol of what it means to age boldly, not quietly. To thrive, not disappear. To be seen, not hidden. These images are more than visuals. They are cultural moments, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. In an era where ageism still lingers, Daphne's unveiling is a defiant act, reclaiming the space she earned decades ago. Her fans, from longtime followers of her career to new admirers, are celebrating her with tributes, video compilations, and messages of solidarity. Across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, the hashtag #DaphneUnfiltered is trending, carrying messages from women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who feel seen for the first time. The emotional power of this moment is palpable. Even journalists covering the entertainment beat have admitted they were caught off guard, not just by the visuals, but by the statement they made. Women can embrace their evolution and still radiate everything that makes them stars: confidence, allure, and purpose. Behind the scenes, the creative team that collaborated with Daphne has revealed just how hands-on she was. Every image, every piece of wardrobe, and every pose was a decision made by Daphne herself, ensuring this wasn't a shoot dictated by trend or studio standards. It was a celebration of self-curation. No stylists pushing her into youth-obsessed aesthetics, no overly airbrushed falseness. Just Daphne. Authentically her. She reportedly chose to work with a small, mostly female-led crew to foster intimacy and ensure comfort, further reinforcing the message that this was not just another celebrity spectacle, it was a reclamation. And the response? Nothing short of seismic. One tabloid even called it a cultural reset. For younger audiences discovering her for the first time, this shoot is an introduction to a woman who was once a fixture of 80s and 90s screens and is now a beacon of fearless reinvention. And for those who grew up watching her as Jo Reynolds, this moment hits differently. It feels personal, nostalgic, like a dear friend just stepped back into the spotlight and reminded us why we admired her in the first place. And in the backdrop of today's celebrity landscape, where exposure is often mistaken for empowerment, Daphne Zuniga's choice to show it all, on her own terms, stands out as rare, pure, and deeply powerful. Because when she revealed herself, she didn't just show her body. She showed her soul. And it was beautiful. In every frame, you can see the woman she's become, the survivor, the mother, the artist, the advocate. The transformation from ingenue to icon is not just captured, it's celebrated. Hollywood may have tried to put her on a shelf, but Daphne Zuniga has kicked that shelf over, and from its rubble, she's built a throne. This is not a comeback, it's a coronation. And as the world continues to react, the magnitude of Daphne Zuniga's resurgence begins to take form, not merely as a viral sensation, but as a cultural turning point in the narrative of mature femininity, power, and self-expression. The images released have ignited passionate conversations across industries, from Hollywood boardrooms to beauty salons, college campuses to red carpets. Everyone is talking about the woman who dared to show more than skin. She revealed identity, legacy, and a flame that refuses to be extinguished. It's not just the aesthetic of the photos that has captivated hearts and headlines. It's the story they tell, a story Daphne has been quietly scripting for decades, one of resilience, resistance, and redefinition. Those who once saw her only as a soap opera siren now see her as a symbol of fearless reclamation, a living portrait of a woman refusing to shrink in the face of time. The entertainment world is notorious for discarding women after a certain age, wrapping them in nostalgic packaging and rarely allowing them to break free. But Daphne? She took that packaging, tore it apart, and reconstructed it into a canvas that holds space for wrinkles, strength, sensuality, and wisdom. And what makes this moment even more compelling is that Daphne Zuniga didn't just pose for these photos, she authored them. Behind the scenes, she was the architect of every emotion captured. The choice of lighting, soft and golden like a sun-drenched memory, was meant to evoke warmth and familiarity, as if each image whispered stories from a time we had forgotten. The subtle vulnerability in her gaze was no accident. It was an invitation into her journey, into her truth. And the wardrobe? Tastefully minimal, with hints of boldness, a visual declaration that said, "This is me." Unfiltered, unapologetic, unforgettable. Critics who once overlooked her are now penning columns of admiration. Former co-stars have taken to social media to praise her bravery. Young actresses now cite her as their blueprint for aging on their own terms. One touching tribute came from a rising Gen Z star who tweeted, "Daphne Zuniga just changed the rules for all of us." This isn't a photo shoot, it's a revolution. That revolution has rippled far beyond Hollywood. Wellness blogs, feminist platforms, and psychological think pieces have dissected the impact of Daphne's message, noting how her openness challenges deeply rooted societal constructs that tie a woman's worth to youth and silence. And Daphne, who has spent years working as an advocate for environmental causes and mental wellness, now finds herself at the helm of another cause: visibility. In interviews following the release, she's spoken not just about the photos, but about the emotional courage it took to create them. She admitted there were moments of doubt, of fear, wondering how the world would respond. But as soon as the camera clicked, she said, she felt a lifetime of being underestimated melt away. "I realized I wasn't doing this to shock anyone," she said. "I was doing it to finally stand in front of the world as who I am, completely." And with that truth, she's unlocked a deeper fan base than she's ever had. One that sees her not just as an actress, but as a leader. A woman leading women out of shame, out of erasure, and into a space where their stories are valued. Her message has found its way into panel discussions on aging in Hollywood, inspiring essays, and even university lectures that analyze media representation of older women. The ripple effect has been enormous. Magazines that once glorified plastic perfection are now placing Daphne's shoot on their covers, praising her for rewriting the rules of allure. Podcasts have dedicated entire episodes to her transformation, using words like poetic, visionary, and liberating. Even fans of her early work in Spaceballs and The Sure Thing are coming forward, overwhelmed with pride, noting how the teenage crush of their youth has become the feminist heroine of their adulthood. But it's not just about fame, it's about freedom. Daphne Zuniga has proven that the power to be seen doesn't rest in the hands of casting directors, publicists, or paparazzi. It lies within. And once it's claimed, it becomes unstoppable. She has now launched a new platform where she'll be mentoring women in the entertainment industry who are navigating their own reinvention. She's collaborating with women-led brands that emphasize authenticity and is planning an exhibition of her photos. Yes, the very same ones that have set the internet ablaze, with proceeds benefiting causes that support women's mental health and empowerment. It's no longer a story about a photo. It's a movement. And the movement is spreading like wildfire. Because in every household where a woman hides from the mirror, in every conversation where someone says she's too old for that, Daphne's images now serve as proof otherwise. Proof that sensuality is not expired. Proof that confidence does not retire. Proof that beauty does not shrink. It deepens. And through her boldness, she's created a roadmap for future stars, showing them how to embrace visibility without apology. Her bravery is now bound to her legacy. This photo shoot, originally intended as a personal catharsis, has transformed into a global manifesto. As the final frames were revealed, ones where Daphne stands under natural light, arms outstretched, eyes closed in serenity, the response was seismic. It felt like she was standing in light for all of us, one fan wrote. And it's true. She wasn't just posing. She was claiming. In a world obsessed with youth, Daphne Zuniga has become a rebel queen, reminding us that the crown is not handed to the youngest voice in the room. It is earned by those who survive, evolve, and shine with their scars. This story, this moment, this proof in pictures, it will not fade. Because now, every time someone looks at Daphne, they won't just see the actress who graced their screens decades ago. They'll see the woman who dared to take it all off, not just the clothes, but the expectations, the silence, and the fear. And when she did, she revealed something the world desperately needed: truth. Glamorous, powerful, and timeless truth. So subscribe now, because stories like these, about icons rising, beauty redefined, and women showing the world how it's done, happen right here on Daily Gossip. Stay tuned for more breathtaking transformations, Hollywood revelations, and unforgettable celebrity journeys every single day.